But until then, and by then I mean 2025, this has been Cat Club. See you next episode. I'm not going to be doing another Pusheen video for a while, and if there is another Pusheen video, then there must be a really good reason for me to do so.
Pop it up here.
Pusheen video in 2025? What is there even to talk about? Oh my gosh, why did I just have to keep on talking?
Do a theory, MatPat style.
Of what? It's Pusheen. I tried doing a theory video in 2023 and that didn't work out. Plus that format isn't even for me.
Pusheen's a time traveler.
What? Hello, welcome to Cat's Love. Here we are again. I didn't think there was much else to talk about, but... So we all know Pusheen, the famous animated kitty who seems to have done it all. Even time travel. If you're not familiar with Pusheen and all that, then here's a quick, summary rundown, or you could watch the videos. Pusheen is a comic about an animated gray cat named Pusheen and her friends getting in all sorts of mischief. But how exactly does that correlate with time travel? Well, it all began with a toy car and lots of intuition. This all began in 2013 when creators Claire Belton and Andrew Duff posted the run-of-the-mill Pusheen comic. It features two cats by a trash can, a yellow and a gray cat. They spark a relationship and it's a happy story. But it is a Pusheen comic, so where's Pusheen? Well, she's behind the trash can, wishing the two cats luck and happiness. But if these two cats were important enough to pretty much have their own comic, then who are they? Well, we can actually identify these cats. This one's your mom and this one's her dad. Or are they? Well, we can actually find an official family tree for Pusheen, where her mom is a white cat and her dad is a brown cat. So then why am I bringing up this comic then? Well, if we look up a little bit, we can see the words Pusheen, the origin story. This is the beginning of the rabbit hole. So, 1, these aren't her actual parents and this isn't her actual origin story, as her family tree doesn't feature these two cats. And if this were her origin story, why was she there? Well, let's start with our first point, her supposed parents. This is meant to be her origin story and her parents meeting each other. So then, why does her family tree and the recent comics feature different cats? Well, we can't track who those cats were in the origin comic, as there are 610 Pusheen comics, so if these cats were to be featured, they'd probably be a one-off character and not a main character. And what's even more confusing is in a comic, a year before Pusheen's origin story, shows Pusheen and her dad, the one on the family tree. So if her origin comic and her family tree show two completely separate cats, then who's her real parents? I mean, you could say that they are the same cats and that they just look different. I guess you could say that these are her real parents, but they look completely different. I mean, heck, one of them is a full-blown orange cat with a striped tail, and the other one is a simple gray cat. And in current comics, she has a brown cat with a mustache for her dad, and a white cat with orange stripes on her back and tail as her mom. They kind of look similar, and if this were the actual origin story of Pusheen, then they should be the same cats. So then why do they look different? Well, aging. Yeah, even in a silly cartoon comic about cats, it still features accurate aging. But how did their colors change so drastically? Let's start with her dad. Black, gray, and overall darker colored cats will turn brown or have a brownish tint to them from suntanning, which breaks down the pigment of their fur, turning it into a tanned look. All darker colored cats will usually have some brown in their appearance at some point in their life, as tanning is unpreventable. But for her dad to just turn completely brown may be cartoon logic, where he was a beach bum for a little too long and he ended up just turning fully brown. And when it comes to Pusheen's mom, oh man. Her coat color is complete cartoon logic. For an orange cat to turn into a complete white cat and develop new stripes on her back is a little unrealistic, sure. And the two don't even look similar apart from the orange stripes on the tail. But I'm not gonna get into that. So her parents are somewhat the same from the original origin comic. So there's that part out of the way. But that only makes this part even weirder. Why was Pusheen there in the first place to witness their first encounter? Well, if we pay another look at the comic, we can see another thing in the background. It seems to be like a kid's toy car that I certainly had when I was younger. So then, did the car take her there? Is it like the DeLorean? Does this mean she's a time traveler? Well, let's go down this rabbit hole. The toy car must be important enough for it to be featured in a comic about Pusheen being in her own parents' backstory way before she was born. So then what is that car, and how did it take her to her parents' past? Well, by the looks of it, it seems to be one of them Little Tykes' cozy coupe cars, which obviously doesn't have a time travel mechanism in it. So then Pusheen or somebody must have modified it. I mean, we have seen Pusheen in the science field before, so she could have modified it herself. And she hypothetically could have went back in time to grant her parents luck and happiness to solidify their relationship. So something could have went wrong in the future for her to go back in time to steer her parents' relationship in the other way. But obviously with the whole time traveler trope, and like we've seen in movies, you don't want to do too much as it can snowball into the world ending or something like that, so that's why she kept it short and brief. And speaking of travel tropes, her going back in time to ensure her existence, or change her parents' trajectory, is called the bootstrap paradox. And nonetheless, her even going back in time and communicating with her parents is a paradox in itself. The pedestrian paradox, as her parents both seen and acknowledged her existence. She altered the future to ensure her parents had good fortune. But for her to go back in time, she would need some pretty futuristic technology. Meaning this Pusheen could have been from hundreds of years in the future. Or possibly she could have used alien technology. Or is Pusheen an alien? No, cut the Vsauce music out, that was a joke. Or was it? I mean, there is an official video from the Pusheen channel on how to communicate with extraterrestrial life. So maybe she asked the alien for their technology. Or she's the alien. Maybe she was sent down to Earth disguised as a cat to gain knowledge on us. I mean, she can communicate, understand, and in that same video of her communicating with extraterrestrial life, she and multiple different colored Pusheen variants come down from the UFO. And the creators didn't want people knowing about her backstory, so they deleted the original comic to hide the truth. But that's just a theory. A Pusheen theory. Oh, that was so fun. I've been wanting to do a good, weird video like this for a while now. Of course, all of this is speculation, and a lot of it can be summed up to miscommunication or a misunderstanding. I mean, they could have deleted the original comic for another reason. Probably to get rid of the whole time traveler thing, but hey, they introduced it first. I just ran with it. And when I mean I ran like Usain Bolt. I took everything out of context. But I hope you enjoyed. This is just the beginning of Merry Catmas. I have much more in store for you, if you don't know what it is. It's a series I do during December where I go all out with the special videos and holiday videos and everything like that. It's just the time where I get to do the most with my creative power to do wacky stuff like this. And if you're wondering what's next, you don't get to know. Last year I told you the whole upload schedule and what videos were happening. Now you just know the upload schedule. The first present has been unwrapped, and it's this video. Stay tuned. This has been Cat's Love. Thanks for watching. I knew it!